Hi everybody! I am just going to do like a quick reference guide on how to edit things in ManyChat because I know sometimes it's hard to pull all that information out of a longer video. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to edit things, how to move things around, and fun things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Perfect. So this is your dashboard. When you first come into ManyChat, this is what it's going to look like, right? So we're going to first talk about editing flows. And so we just click on flows here, and let's see if I can find one that has multiple steps. Actually, let's just create a new one really quick. Why don't we do that? So we're going to hit new flow. And we're just going to enter practice edit. We'll just name it that for fun. You hit whatever, you do whatever you want. We hit create, and then I'll just say we're enter hi, and then you always click these ellipses to do first name, last name, full name, all these fun things. I always do first name here, and then just hi first name, info here, right? And so then I can add a button. So hit add a button. I can choose to send them a message, open a website, call a phone number, start another flow, smart delay, or existing step. So what I'm going to do is I am going to send them another message, and we'll edit that in just a second, but then I also want to add a tag. So this is where you add a tag. You go to action, add a tag, and I will say, I'll just call it tag. And then you can type whatever you want. You can do hostess, guest, the event name, or purchase XYZ, whatever you want to do. You do that. You can add more than one tag if you want. So you could do tag 2, whatever you want to do. There's also other actions you can add in here. So let's really quickly talk about those. So I can remove tags as well. So if they want to unsubscribe from something, that would be an instance where you could remove a tag. You can subscribe to a sequence. You can unsubscribe from a sequence. Our conversation is open. We don't really use this very often, so just kind of ignore that for now. Notify admins is a great one. And so what you're going to want to do is when it does that, make sure you go here and you uncheck, because Michelle's on most of your accounts, right? So you're going to want to go through and make sure you uncheck that so Michelle's not getting those notifications, right? But when you do that, you can, so I choose to get it through Messenger, and I also choose to get it through email too, just as kind of, I like to have both as a backup. There's no right or wrong way to do that. So those are the actions there. Set custom field link. This is more advanced things in here, but just you really want to pay attention to add tag, subscribe to sequence, and notify admin. So those are things that you want to just take notice of. So there's adding that button. When you do it, you want to make sure you rename it as, that's how you edit that. Same process for opening a website. You do www.a.com or whatever you want to put in there and rename that. And you're going to name those whatever you want them to be named, right? So those are the basics of editing in ManyChat. So now we're going to talk about building things. So here is where you can add, let's add a delay. So it's 3 seconds. We can edit that up to 60 seconds if we want. And so if you see, there's going to be a little thing right here that's like, and so you're going to want to get rid of that. So what you're going to want to do is stick your text. You can stick a text underneath there. You can stick an image underneath there. You can stick whatever you want, but this is basically saying this cannot be the last thing in your message, okay? So, and if you're ever in doubt, or you're like, why is this here? You just hover your mouse over it and it will tell you why that's there. And so I'm going to add an image, and let's see, I don't even know what this is, but we're going to just take a gamble here and see what that is. Perfect. So there's some books right there that I can throw in there. I could add a button. I could say shop, and then I could open up my website. So I could put whatever you want to put in there, right? And so now when they click on that, that'll be that. But So there's the image, and I could add another delay, or user input is a pro feature, so I do that. And I can ask them a question, how can I help you? And then there's a free keyboard input, which means they can type whatever they want in there, just to kind of let you know. And then they'll do that. So one thing you can do is you can add actions to this too. So when they respond to it, you can notify admins, so you know you can add tags, all that fun stuff. But say we want to put this before the photos, right? So we want them to get the photo after they have their little input. There, if you go here, it makes a little cross sign, and you drag it up, or you can drag it down to move it around. So say you wanted a 60-second delay right here and you forgot to do that. What you do is you hit delay, and then you just simply drag it up, okay? So that's how that works. So say I decide I don't want this. I'm like, I don't want that delay. I hit the X here. I don't want this. I hit the X here. And it's going to say, you're going to delete this, proceed. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? And so then I'm going to do that. Okay, and so ManyChat tends to have checks and balances. And so when we go to hit publish, it's going to be like, uh-oh, I forgot. Remember up here when we made button A to send a message, I forgot to write in the message. And so that's where that checks and balances. So anytime in doubt, right, it's going to has a little triangle. It says, please enter text. So I can just type hi for now. And so then I'll be like, okay, that should be ready. Okay, so that is the basics of how to do edits and stuff in ManyChat. I'm going to move on to editing sequences a little bit. If you have any more questions about editing basics, please comment below this video and we will help you out, okay? But we're going to move on quickly to the sequences. And so we're going to create a new sequence here. And we're just going to name this edit training. We're going to create that. Here's a sequence. So we have no messages, right? So we're going to hit this button. We're going to create a new one. We're going to select existing because we're going to select one of our flows. And this was going to make no sense whatsoever because I'm just going to choose random ones, right? So we're going to hit new releases, hard to find, and then select this flow. There we go. And that one's there. And then we always just want to change this to, I like to do it immediately. You can, Michelle's talked in class about how to delay it just a little bit, or whatever you want to do, just to kind of keep up on that. So this message will be sent immediately. Anytime you can send between hours to change. This is military time, so 2200 is 10 o'clock. So you might want to just change it to 2000, which is, oops, that's 21, which is 8 o'clock. That preference is totally you. I'm lazy, so I usually just leave it at 2200 because most people, not everybody, but most people are up at 10. So save and update, right? And so that's where you could do that. So it sends immediately. This one, you don't have to edit time for the first one, or whatever your preferences, whatever you're doing, just kind of think it through and be like, when would I like to receive this message? So we're going to add another message to our sequence. I'm going to select existing. I'm just going to throw a random one in there. Okay, so there's that one. And we want to make sure we're turning these on once we're all done so they get sent out, okay? And I have this after 1 day. I could change the time if I want, but this is just a practice, so we're going to leave that. We're going to do one more message. We're going to create a new reply. And this is basically what we did in flows. And you can just create one there, okay? Does that make sense? So we're going to go back to sequence message 3, edit training. So that's basically all there is to it. So we're going to turn this on. And see, it's yelling at me because I don't have that. So I'm going to delete it by hitting the trash can right here. Okay, and then you can move these around by just clicking and dragging. So you can choose. So say I want to do hard to finds first. I just move it like that. I want to do growth tool first. Just click, hold it down, and drag it around. Okay, so those are the basics of how to edit. So if you have any questions at all, this is kind of like you know, I use Legos a lot as an analogy when talking about ManyChat. So this is like, you know, the big Lego that you use at the bottom of your project to build all the stuff on top of. So this is your big Lego. So if you have questions about the little Legos, let me know and I'm more than happy to help you guys with that, okay? And if this doesn't answer your question, as always, feel free to ask below this video in the comments, because I'm sure other people have those questions too, and maybe I won't know, and that will send me on a good research trip too. Who loves a good research trip, right? So that is everything I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, like I said, please comment below. Thanks. Bye.